Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
Up, Sam.
And today we're reviewing Jim Beam Black.
Alrighty, so we're back with a second episode of the quarantine editions of fourth quarantine or fifth quarantine. Just forget about the numbers at this point because I have no idea how many it's been. We're doing another more budgety version just because we need to save money and we're not going to waste like a nice bottle of whiskey on a Zoom review. We'll try and do it in person. So this time we've gone with the Jim Beam double. It's not called
just
double
black.
black,
It's just black.
Just black, yeah. So it's extra aged. They do it in new charred white oak barrels, which they have to be new because that's just the law with bourbon. But the extra age actually helps out a lot because I'm not a massive fan of the white label at all.
No.
But this one is actually okay. It's meant to be 8-year-old bourbon at this point, which is pretty good. It does give it a bunch of like much better notes. Like the caramelization is there. You're getting way darker flavors.
Yeah.
Bit more, I wouldn't say rye, but like more, I don't know, just kind of some deeper, more complex notes. It's still the same bourbon, but it's way deeper in flavor. It tastes at a higher ABV just because the flavor is a bit more dense. It doesn't taste as watery. That kind of faint, wet wood, banana-y kind of note is gone for the most part. It's just a much more enjoyable bourbon, to be honest. And for how much extra is it? What, like 15,
10
20?
bucks? It's not even that.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, like it's really no point going for the white label over the black.
Those really dark, rich flavors are really present in this nose, and I like it. It's like a plum almost.
Yeah, there's definitely like more raisin notes. I think the fruit, it's like there's that nice red apple is in there. A lot of dry corn, dusty corn sweetness. But it's thicker and more complex than the white. The white label's like, I don't know, it's like just sprinkling white sugar on everything. Whereas this is like, it's a more dense kind of syrupy sweetness and it's a bit more along the lines of
molasses.
the caramelized wood tannins and stuff like that, instead of just a simple sweetness. I feel like we say that a lot about not just necessarily cheap to more expensive, but like when you go up in proof. And I know we kind of technically went up 3%, but either way, like we normally get that kind of difference from going up in proof, going from 40 to 48 or something. It does often help. A lot of whiskeys just kind of like have their notes just brought up to the surface a bit more, instead of just being kind of like wading in a kiddie pool, kind of washed out. And that's the case for this one, not to the extent where it's like, it's still for just 40%, but the flavors are definitely a bit more intense. They're a bit more obviously there.
I don't know if that's just because we are thinking back to the white label.
The white label.
Like, I think if you bought this in comparison to like other bourbons, they'd still be better than this or have more flavors, more depth. I don't know if it's just
we'd have to
because
compare it to. We'd have to do like a blind tasting of all the budget bourbons we can get.
The lineup.
It's nice, like cinnamon, faint cinnamon notes in this one. Kind of like the spices in like a apple crumble. Not quite like as fruity.
Yeah, it's not as fruity,
as deep brown sugary, but it's kind of got that avenue. It's more like a green apple.
Yeah.
Stewed green apple, or raw like red apple, plus some like kind of light nutmeg, cinnamon, and some just grains. So it's kind of like an apple crumble for me, but it's still not like.
It's actually really spicy as well.
It's got
I get like it's a cold liquid though. Like how bourbons are normally like
high
warm
proof
and
is like hot.
They like hug you. This is like it's
exactly.
cold. I don't know how to like explain what it is.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's just it tastes when you get like it happens with lower proof stuff. We always say it like it tastes cold, it tastes a bit thin, and when you get high proof, it's like they taste hot. They taste like dense and rich and kind of like wrap around your inside.
I would actually really like to compare this to this normal one, to the white, because this.
Do you have it?
No, I haven't.
You have it at yours?
No, I haven't got it here.
No, it must be back at.
Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Yeah. We'll definitely do it at some point. We'll do like either another Jim Beam range, another whiskey from the Jim Beam range, and review that, and then compare it to the white label and the black.
Coming back to this, for the price, it's really nice. but it is still thin.
Definitely.
I think we're explaining it more than what it actually is. It is still thin. It's still basic.
Yeah.
And it's just better.
Yeah, it still tastes
than the white label.
budgety. It still tastes budgety like the white label, but it's definitely better. It's definitely an improvement on the white label. It's not like our new go-to bourbon that we love it or whatever. It's just like definitely an improvement on the white label. So if you like the white label, I would recommend trying this because it's really not much more expensive at all. Super available, and is just like objectively more. Actually, I can't exactly say objectively. You'd think objectively like more dense flavors because of the double age. So in that way, kind of, but subjectively, it is better for us. So I don't know. I definitely think that going on like with the kind of things we've been reviewing in quarantine have probably been good choices, just because like people aren't going to want to go out just as they've got their payments put on hold to buy Johnny Blue Label or something like that. So recommending some things that are actually quite tasty and not going to break the bank. So I think that's a good idea.
We've just got to think of two more for
we
next
did that
week.
accidentally because we didn't want to break our bank.
We need to do that for next week as well. Think of two more.
Yeah, definitely.
Fairly cheap, drinkable whiskies.
Well, I've got one. You just need to get another one.
I need to buy one,
Yeah.
But the problem is, my restrictions have kind of eased, so I can go exploring now. It's like
Are you allowed in Melbourne?
I'm not allowed in Melbourne, but I'm around. Yeah. I'm allowed like around regional. So like.
No, but I was like
bottle shop instead of where I work, I could go somewhere else.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that should be not too difficult, and then hopefully, what is it? Saturday? What is it? Friday. It's Friday. So hopefully, next Thursday or next Friday, this time next week, we will be out of it, and then that following Monday, me and you can
hopefully record in person.
Do some good old recording. But yeah, we didn't really talk that much about the bourbon. It's just it's quite a simplistic bourbon. It's very enjoyable. It's a good sipper when you're not really paying attention to the bourbon. It's like something that will accompany a movie or talking to people and stuff, but it's not one of those sit down and think about type of whiskeys. But it's definitely enjoyable. I would never choose the white label over this now that I've tried it. I think that if I was going to recommend a Jim Beam, or if I was just going to pick it up for some reason, I would just pick up the black.
The white label doesn't even have
be any other
the price point either. Like the white label is basically the same price. So why would you go for the white label? And the
fact that we get it mostly for 37% kind of pisses me off anyway. So like I just don't see any reason in Australia to buy the white label. Black label though, not bad. I don't mind it. Definitely improvement. Alrighty, thank you very much for watching this episode of Everything Whiskey. If you enjoyed it, leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.